everyone, I am Lauren-Jane for those of you who don't know. If you are new, welcome to my channel. I am a core surgical trainee, training in plastic surgery. I've also got 3 children. Please like and subscribe for more of these type of videos. Now, if you have come to this video, you poor, tired, intrepid wanderer, it's because you are struggling to get a publication. Am I right? Now, what this video is going to go through is the course that purports to get you a publication in 1 day. And I, ever your curious explorer, have done this course in order to be able to tell you about it. Now, as it stands, I did this course, I think 6 or 7 weeks ago. I have 2 publications that have come out of this course that are currently pending, not published. One of them is about to go to the publisher. The other one is not quite there yet. So keep an eye in the comments and I will tell you if and when I get my 2 second author publications on these. Right, number 1. The course is a meta-analysis course. I'll put the title of the course in the comments so you can find it. Now, what the course purports to do is to get you this publication in a day. So what happens is it's cost £500. I have tried to claim that back through my deanery. I don't know if that's the case yet because it's still outstanding, but again, I'll update in the comments. So £500. Before you attend on the day, you get allocated to one of 3 groups based on your preference. So when I went, I think there was a pediatric cardiology group, there was a trauma and orthopedics group, and there was a plastics group. And in those groups, there are different publications. So what happens is that the organisers who are, they've got great credentials for this kind of stuff, they've got loads of publications, what they do is they try and identify a data set before you come on the day. And then you get sent, after you've been allocated to the group, before you turn up, you get sent a couple of papers. So we had 7 on the day. I got sent 3 of those before attending. I actually spent ages going through and creating like kind of lists, having read those papers, summarizing them, summarizing the data, all of that kind of stuff. I would advise not doing that. It's really not necessary. So you kind of get that prep material and you know what your paper is going to be about before you get there in the day. So on the day, you are there from like 8:30 until 6:30. It is a long and exhausting day, but I think you're probably kind of prepared for that because you're more than likely a doctor. So this is not new to you. It was in a nice hotel. Mine was in Leeds. It was a great breakfast. These are the things that are important to me. At the start of the session, there was a didactic lecture. It only lasted about 30 minutes. This is not a didactic course. This is a course where you are literally going to create that paper throughout the day. But it did start with a really helpful kind of lecture into the general concepts. Before you get there, also you're kind of told what software to download. And if, like me, you're on Mac, you might struggle with some of that software. But they had, very helpfully, they had course laptops. So if you did struggle with anything, then you could use the laptop. So we've got there. We've been allocated to our groups. We've done the didactic lecture. Now you're going to be put in groups of around 5 or 6. And what you are going to do is the data analysis for your meta-analysis. Now, in the morning, there were like 3 or 4 faculty members wandering around. In the evening, there were a couple more faculty members around. Most of them are consultants. And then there are kind of a couple of people that organise the course. They've all got very strong research backgrounds. And they're there to answer any questions that you might have. And obviously, as you know, if you're like me and you're new to meta-analysis, you've probably got some, questions. But it has gone through stage by stage. And throughout the bulk of that day, you are going to create from your 7 papers or however many you have, all of the data analysis ready for your meta-analysis so that at the end of the day, you can go away as a team, depending on who's going to write up the results and introduction. We'll come back to that because that is a bit of a contentious issue. You are going to have all of the raw data done for your project. And we had 7 papers, there were 6 of us, I think. We were able to do all of that in a day. And that's including things like Newcastle, Ottawa scales and things like that. We managed to do all of that in a day. Now, when you get there, they will say to you that you're there to kind of learn the skill of how to do a meta-analysis. I am there to get a publication because I have struggled and I need it for my application. And I think probably, if we're all being honest, that is why everyone is doing that course, because they want to be able to get a publication, because for whatever reason, you haven't been able to get a publication. Now, so you're doing a paper, obviously there's 6 of you. There does come the question, and I would be remiss if I didn't discuss this with you, because you are my viewers, and I want to give you, the best and considered information. And this was an issue on the course, was that obviously some people are going to be first authors and some people are going to be second authors. So the way that is decided, I thought would be like, pulling straws and things like that. That's actually not how it works. If you email ahead of time and ask to be a first author, or if you get there and find a partner and ask to be first author, then you can be first author. And that did seem really unfair to me on the day. The way they try and get around that is, number one, they say to you that the authorship doesn't matter because you can be able to do loads of different projects. Kind of disagree with that, because obviously it does matter for my application. But the way they tried to get around that on the day to make it fair was that for those of us who were second author, we went and then helped and did more work on a second project, and contributed to another group's work in order to be able to have two second author publications. So I worked and created, I added meaningful contributions to 2 separate groups on that day, which was a lot. It was a really, really intense day. There was a lot of figures. By the end of the day, my head was like swimming. But by the end of the day, I had put together 2 meaningful contributions to 2 separate projects. And so that's why I have these 2 second author processes running. Now for my application, it's either you get 100% of the score of first author or 50% of second authors. So having 2 second authors should amount to the same, hopefully. It's better than nothing, right? So the only issue that I had with the course on the day is that it did seem a bit unfair in terms of who was going to be first author, who was going to be second author. But it was solved for me in that I had 2, not 1. And I got to learn from 2 entirely different processes because their research was different. So I had to read all of their research as well. And, so it's a lot. That's how it is. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. And so this is the structure of the course, is that 1-day course, £500, small didactic lecture, full day's worth of, is going to be really hard work, a full day of really hard work, working your data, learning the skills, putting 2 things together, and then either getting a first author publication or a second author publication. Now, obviously, since the day, the people on my project, my primary project, who have gone away to be first authors, they have now written the project effectively. So they deserve their first author credit at this point, because we did all of the data analysis together, but they were the ones who have gone away and written the results and the discussion and I wrote some of the introduction, but the rest of it based on what we've already put together. So it might be that you're watching this and you think second author is fine. I'm totally happy with that. I'll go for the day. I'll do the data analysis and I'm out. I've not got the energy to do all of that writing stuff. I'm more of a figures person anyway. If so, this is going to be absolutely fine for you. If you are a person who thinks I desperately want to do I want a first author publication, then this course cannot promise you this. What you can do is you can email ahead of time, or you can try and ask as soon as you get there to be first author, but obviously you are going to have to put more work in terms of writing the rest of the paper. Now, another thing since then that's come to light is that the consultants who were the faculty, they are also co-authored on the paper. So you are going to end up with papers that have got quite a few collaborators. So when you're thinking about paying your £500, this is something that you are going to have to think about. But all in all, I do recommend the course. I learnt so much about doing a meta-analysis. It's all done with integrity in terms of how the data collection. It's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, but it's fantastic, and I will keep you updated. So this is my summary really. I will keep you updated as to whether I get my second author publications, because obviously that's really, really important. And that will be posted in the comments as and when it gets done. If you have any comments or questions about this course, please do let me know and I will answer them beneath. Thank you.